We can speak now, I'm pleased to say, to the German ambassador, Miguel Berger. Thank you very much for being with us on the programme this evening. Was it a successful summit then?
I would say that I agree with John Healey. It was a successful summit. We have Finland for the first time participating as full member. We had the agreement on Sweden, so Turkey is going to ratify Sweden's membership. We have a very strong security pledge for Ukraine. We have a path, a kind of roadmap towards future membership of Ukraine. So I think it was a very successful summit.
Do we really have a roadmap to membership for Ukraine? We haven't got any specific conditions, which is what they want.
Yeah, but I think the key issue is that we all want to see that the war ends first, because no country will become member of NATO during a war. So the war has to end. And then there are some conditions which will be put forward to any new member. So on interoperability, on democratic control of the army. So these are very basic conditions. But it was very clear, if you look at the text, that there is a very strong commitment to admit Ukraine into NATO once these conditions are met.
We can obviously understand why Ukraine want to join NATO and also why there is a caution to do it now, because obviously under Article 5, if someone invades a NATO member state, then the others have to come in to defend it.
Yes.
Is it right to say that, I guess the US and Germany are on the more cautious side of the argument here?
I would not say that this is only Germany and the US. I think there was a wider understanding and nobody had a different view on the question that the war has to end first. So we all want to see that this war comes to an end, hopefully with the victory of Ukraine. And then I think the basis and the groundwork can be laid for membership.
Can't some of the groundwork be laid now?
We are doing that. If you look at training, if you look at all the support packages, so Germany has just pledged another 700 million new Leopard tanks, new Patriot systems. So we are doing a lot. And I think it's very important to underline that these security pledges by the G7 will cover this time between the NATO summit and the moment of a possible membership of Ukraine. So we have very strong security pledges, which will give, I think, Ukraine the necessary guarantees for this time.
I want to ask your opinion on some comments that were made by Ben Wallace, the Defence Secretary in the UK, who said Ukraine should show more gratitude for some of the weapons from other countries. He said that he'd actually told Ukraine, we're not Amazon. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think Ukraine has shown gratitude, and we see this every day on the front line, the reactions from Ukrainian soldiers. I think we would not be in the situation we are now without this support from the West. I imagine that what Ben Wallace wanted to say is that we all, and I think it's something UK is facing the same way as Germany, we don't have enough ammunition in our stocks to continue to deliver without new industrial production. And that has been part of the discussions in NATO. And we have now very clear commitments on strengthening industrial production so that we are able to deliver the necessary weapons and ammunition. And I think also that we are...
And that's because basically...
Yes.
Other countries in NATO might be running out, or that
yes.
our
also our stocks are limited. And I think that's what he wanted to say. Our stocks are limited. And we need to make sure that the Russians also see that we produce more ammunition and send more weapons than Russia can produce. Because only if Putin understands that he cannot win this war by waiting or playing on time, then things might start to change.
Just finally, talking about other global issues, we're expecting to hear a bit of a strategy on China from Germany in the coming days. Has there been a shift in the German position on China, do you think?
Yes, it has. And I would say the lesson we have learned from Russia's war of aggression is that we need to be more resilient. We have to reduce over-dependencies. If you look at semiconductors, if you look at rare earths for energy transition, 90% come from China. So we will not be successful if we don't reduce our over-dependency. And regrettably, we have seen a China policy which is becoming more and more assertive, aggressive, and we have to react to that. But let me say this China strategy will be published, but I'm pretty sure that we are more or less on the same line as the British government on China.
Interesting. Really great to talk to you. Always good to have you on the show. Thank you very much.